There she is. Oh, wow. I thought this was small.
It is. It is small.
Ramp access. Hatch. She's a beauty.
Powerful ship. Fast. Drake Interplanetary is my favorite ship manufacturer.
Yeah.
They are no frills. Their ships are purpose-built, and there's nothing about them that's fancy.
Right.
It gets the job done. Go ahead and push the open button up underneath the hatch here, the ramp.
Ah. Brilliant.
Now, don't forget to close the door behind you.
Yes. That would, I bet people have done that before.
Oh yeah, that's how you get your stuff stolen and killed. They hide in your ship and then shoot in the back of the head when you're in the pilot seat. Now, this ship has room for 46 standard cargo units, SCU, in this room. Mm-hmm. And because you've got a nice wide ramp here, you also have space to carry multiple ground vehicles.
Right.
That ROC mining buggy that you purchased, you have room in here for 2 of those.
Oh, brilliant.
So if you wanted to go out with a buddy to do mining, you both could grab an ROC and hop in one ship and go out and have fun.
Awesome.
And it also has these drop seats, so 6 people have the ability to take a seat in the back when you're out going on missions.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome.
But if you're going to park vehicles in there, make sure you remember to close them, or else the tires on those wider vehicles will hit the seats. Hold F and right click, and a wheel will open up to give you the option to close it once it's opened.
Aha. Awesome.
And you have side doors that for access it to the cargo from the side. You can vault up into it even though it doesn't look like you can. If you press spacebar while you're in the right spot out there, you'll climb back in.
Uh-huh.
And there's one of those on each side.
Yeah, this was a beast of a ship.
This ship also has an onboard tractor beam right here that you control from the co-pilot seat to be able to load and unload cargo and items that you're putting onto the ship.
Okay. That just kind of pulls them into your ship kind of thing.
Yeah, you control it from the co-pilot seat. The back seat here is the co-pilot. The front one is the pilot.
Okay.
This seat here is a manned turret for a buddy to shoot guns off the top of the ship while you're flying and shooting guns from the pilot seat.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got beds, 2 beds for bed logging. And that engineering panel shows you the status of the ship so that you can control the power distribution to the different systems, and it also tells you where problems are that need to be fixed.
Right.
And you can control the doors and stuff on the ship.
Hydrogen fuel empty.
Because the ship is turned off, it's not telling you how much you have.
Wow, there's a lot to it, isn't there? But it's good.
Yep. It can get in depth, but it doesn't have to. A lot of people, when they first introduced engineering, thought that it was going to completely destroy the ability to fly like a normal, normal gameplay, and that you were going to have to constantly be battling with your ship while you're trying to use your ship. When in actuality, the way that it functions is the engineering component and the engineering gameplay is a consequence to your actions and your decisions. It's just like driving your car. You don't have to take your car into the shop to have it serviced after every time you use it. But if you use your car like it's an F1 race car, then yes, after you use it every single time, you need a pit crew to service that car.
Yeah.
Because you've ran it to its extreme limits and you've damaged things while you're using it every single time.
Yeah.
That's the way engineering works in the game. You get into fights, your ship takes damage from getting shot, you have to fix it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the way it works.
Okay.
This is a gun rack.
Yeah, I was
for
thinking
putting
that.
weapons.
Yeah.
This is fuses. This is also part of the engineering gameplay for when your ship takes damage.
Okay.
And this is exactly what it looks like.
Fire extinguisher.
Yes. And it functions exactly as a fire extinguisher would expect to function.
Okay.
When your ship catches on fire on the inside, you use that to not only put out the fire, but also reduce the temperature in the space.
Okay.
If the temperature stays high, the fire may reignite.
Right. Interesting.
And when you place the fire extinguisher back on its holder, it recharges.
Does it ever run out of it, whatever's in it, the
Yes.
contents? Yeah.
Yes. But that's what it recharges. Like, you can take it off and use it, and then when it runs out, you hang it back up, it'll refill.
Okay. I get you. That's handy.
Now this is ship storage. So if you open that, I'll explain to you how the inventory works.
Okay.
So the window on the right, where it says external, that's the ship's inventory.
Mm-hmm.
Everything on the right is the inventory of where you're currently located. You don't have an inventory on your person yet because you're only wearing an undersuit and a helmet.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't actually have inventory. We're going to go shopping and we're going to get you some armor so that you actually have some place to carry stuff. So what we're going to do is you're going to hop in the pilot seat and we're going to fly to the station that's in orbit above where the city we're currently in.
Okay.
I'll hop in the co-pilot, you can hop in the pilot.
Okay.
Alt R to go flight ready.
Did that do it?
Is it the correct? Are you using the correct alt?
Try another one. Aha! It's the right side.
Yep. And then Alt N as in Nancy to ask to leave. Actually, you know what? Yeah, go ahead and hit Alt N.
Alt N.
And if nothing happens, use the other alt.
Attention, pilot.
Aha.
Cleared for...
Alright, so now the door above our head is opening. And the ship is turned on. Your engines are on. If you hit F4 to go third person, this might be a little easier for you.
Yeah, definitely. W to go up?
No. Actually, you know what? Let me explain one other thing before we leave the ground. Go back first person with F4. Move your mouse around, and you'll see your cursor has a little line that's leading from your cursor to the crosshair in the center of your screen.
Mm-hmm.
Center your cursor on the center of that crosshair.
Okay.
When you leave the ground, the nose of your ship is going to move in the direction that your mouse is in relation to that crosshair in the center of your screen. So you want your mouse centered.
Yeah.
Don't move your mouse when you leave the ground, or else the nose of your ship is going to go all cattywampus.
Yeah. Yeah. Good tip. So that's
now
censored.
when you hit spacebar, you'll go straight up. And just hold spacebar down to go up and out of the hangar and get a distance away from the ground because we don't want to be anywhere near where ships are going in and out of that hangar.
Okay.
Now that we're gone, it's
Good
going to
luck
be
on your
assigned
travels.
to someone else.
As you leave our atmosphere, it's important to remember that Hurston dynamics isn't...
Tap N as in Nancy to raise your landing gear.
Yeah.
Now you can go first person if you'd like. It's a lot easier to fly in first person than it is third. And point your nose to the sky. The horizon marker on the center of your HUD, those numbers that are scrolling when you look up, if you align your crosshair with 80 or 85, that's just about straight up from the horizon. And then hold W to go forward.
Awesome.
Now currently, we're too low in the atmosphere to you to be able to use your jump drive, so we're just going to go up until we get high enough to turn it on.
Okay.
We are in SCM mode, which is standard cruise mode, which is going to do a couple things. It's going to keep your shields on, and your shields use a large chunk of the power that your power plants have available. So because your shields are on, you do not have access to your jump drive or the full power from your thrusters. So your maximum speed is drastically reduced because of the lack of power.
Okay.
If you're not in combat, and you're not near anything right now that you could potentially crash into, so you can safely turn your shields off and switch over into the navigation mode. To switch modes, you hold B for a couple seconds or a second and then let go, and you'll see the mode switch.
Shall I do that now?
Yep, go ahead. There you go. So your shields went off and your quantum drive turned on. That
Awesome.
arc on the right side of your HUD is the quantum drive spooling up, or it's charging its power so that it's available to use. The arc on the left side of your HUD is the calibration for your jump drive, where the quantum computer is plotting a route so that your jump isn't going to send your ships flying into something.
Okay.
So now, because it says hot online in green at the top of your HUD, that's telling you that you're in a location that you're capable of using your jump drive. We're high enough in the atmosphere now that you can use it. So what we want to do is we want to jump to the space station that's in orbit above the city. At this location, it's called Everest Harbor. If you look around, you'll see all of these icons that are kind of in a row. Those are all the locations that you can jump to in the whole system. There's one specific one we want. You could just flip around until you find what you're looking for. Or the fastest way is to set it as a destination on your map.
Oh, okay.
So hit F2 to bring up your map. The first thing that comes up when you hit F2 is actually your ship. It's showing you the interior of your ship. So scroll back a couple clicks on your mouse wheel to get out of your ship and into the actual system we're in.
Yeah.
Now, in the top left corner, you see there's a search bar. If you click in there, since I know the name of the place that we want to go to is Everest Harbor, you can type in EVE to start typing in Everest.
Yeah.
And you'll see it pop up. Yep.
Oh,
Click
awesome.
Click the station and then click the green route button to set the destination. You'll know that it worked because that yellow line shows up on the map.
Okay.
Now you have a route set.
Brilliant.
On the right side of the screen, you'll see the window. It gives you information about the route that you have set. You only have one jump you need to do, and it's showing it's to Everest Harbor, and it gives you the amount of fuel that it's going to take to do the jump and how much time it's going to take to do it. If you wanted to clear what you currently set, you would click that red cancel button that's right there.
Okay.
But now you're set, so you can hit F2 to close the map. Now you'll notice the only marker that's available is the one that you need to jump to. So in the lower left corner, you'll see it on the edge of your screen. It's indicating to you where that marker is.
Yeah.
set your crosshair on it so that your quantum drive calibrates, which is that left arc. Once it's finished, it goes green and the little arrows. Hold the left click for a few seconds to engage the drive. You don't have to continue holding it once it starts.
Whoa.
That particular jump was fast because we were very close to our destination.
Yeah, I thought I was going to crash into it then.
Yep, quantum drives will always shut down on its own once you've arrived.
Okay.
And it'll usually take you to about 22 or 23 kilometers away from what you're going to.
Okay.
So now we got to fly in the rest of the way, the slow way, because we're too close to jump again. But we're in space, so there's no resistance to your ship's movement. So, and you're in nav mode, which means you have full power to all your thrusters. So you can go really fast towards this giant hunk of floating metal in space.
Put shields on.
No, don't need shields. But you don't want to fly directly at the flying hunk of metal. You want to aim slightly off to the side. So if you come in too fast, you can fly past it instead of
right into it. That makes sense.
You can go more to the left. You don't have to be that far. You just want, so your crosshair on the center of your HUD is going to be where your ship's going to go when you hit W. So put that crosshair so that it's on the stars just off to the side of the station, like literally like an inch off the side.
Not there?
That's fine. Yep, that'll get you close.
W?
Now when you hold W, you'll start going forward and you'll get going fast. You'll see your speed on the left side of your dashboard. Like your radar is in the center. That vertical line to the left of the radar, above that in the white, is your speed.
Okay.
Now hold X to put on space brakes. And if you hold X and left shift, you'll use a boosted space brake. And you'll notice how it takes a lot longer to slow down than it does to get moving. The thrusters on the back of your ship are way bigger and a lot more powerful than the thrusters on the front of your ship that you're using to come to a stop.
Right.
There's a couple ways that you can manipulate your speed in a lot faster fashion. Since you were in nav mode and you had full power to your ship, you could go over 1,000 meters a second within no time at all.
Okay.
If you want to bring that speed down very quickly, switching modes from nav mode to SCM mode so your shields come on will basically cut your speed in half almost instantly.
Right.
Putting your landing gear down restricts your movement speed to 29 meters a second, which feels like a crawl. Doing that when you're close to something like a space station when you're coming in for a landing, or if you're coming close to the ground to land on the ground, putting your landing gear down when you're within like a kilometer of your destination slows you down significantly so that you don't have... It's a lot easier to control your ship because every time you press the button right now, it's going to be like bat out of hell.
Right.
And with your landing gear down, it's going to feel like a crawl, and it's going to be more manageable.
So that's N, is it?
Correct.
In Nancy.
Landing gear down.
Brilliant.
So
I
now,
love
now we're look at the station.
Should I go in?
We'll get you a little bit comfortable with moving the ship before you worry about asking for where you want to land. So fly towards the station and you'll notice how slow the ship moves now.
Yeah. A lot more managed. That makes sense.
It feels like we're not moving at all, but when you get close to the station, you'll notice we are actually moving at a pretty good clip. Depth perception is kind of off in the game.
Yeah.
But it's actually not really off. It's just like it's proper, but us not being used to flying in space in real life, it's difficult for us to wrap our heads around distances and perspective from a normal on the ground scenario.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So if you hold left shift, you'll engage your thruster, your booster, even though you're restricted to 29 meters a second normal flight. Engaging your booster will jump you forward. So go ahead and do that and you'll see what I mean.
Oh yeah.
So you just do some taps of that if you want to do a little quick burst. So now hit Alt N and let's ask to land.
Maybe this side. Is it? Did that work? Alt N.
That request is
Oh, there we go.
Should see a message pop up.
Join hangar
Okay,
queue.
we're in a queue. Yep. So we're waiting in line for our turn. So keep an eye at the top of the screen. When it's our turn, a message will pop up that says hangar request completed. And then after it says that, you can look around and you'll see an icon with your name on it, indicating which hangar was assigned to you. And it shouldn't take too long since we're only got one other person in front of us.
This is awesome.
Only the really busy stations will have queues. The less traveled ones very rarely do.
What would you say is the busiest station?
The ones that are above the 4 landing zones are the busiest. Because there's a lot of missions that require either pickup or drop off at these stations.
Okay. I seen
So we get a lot of cargo haulers coming in and out here.
I was watching someone on stream and they were doing a mission and it was like this massive, I can't remember what mission it was, you probably have done it, massive like tractor beam or light coming from the sky.
Yes, that's the Hathor missions. That's a mining laser that's from a station that's in orbit above the planet.
Right.
And when you do the mission, you have to supply the batteries to power that laser and then turn it on. And then once it's on, it opens up a cave in the ground for you to go in and mine a whole bunch of very valuable ore. The thing about the mission, though, is that there's a lot of people that are fighting for that resource. So it becomes a PvP scenario.
There's a... Right, it says a hangar request complete.
And do you see your name anywhere? Or do you see an icon that's indicating where the hangar is located on the edge of your screen?
Okay, I think it's this way.
I got booted for inactivity. Okay, not a problem.
I think. Aha, I see it.
Now fly towards it. And it's going to be a hole in the ground hangar. It's not going to be like a garage door. It's going to be a, you're going to come down into it from the ceiling.
Okay, so go above it, yeah?
Yep. And if it takes you too long to get there and they start closing the door on you, just come to a stop and wait for the door to finish closing and then ask for permission to land again and they'll open the door back up.
Right down there, or do I just go up?
Go up. You can use spacebar to rise up above it.
Okay. Should I go in third person?
You can. It is easier in a lot of cases. Nose right into it so the nose of your ship is facing the ground. And once you get in the hangar, you can level out with your mouse and then use left control to go down.
Hey, awesome.
And now tap I to kill your engines. And then hold Y to get out of your seat.